Noam, you had said that the Sanders campaign should be viewed as a great success because it shifted the entire national conversation and brought to the fore ideas which had previously been marginalized, like the Green New Deal and healthcare for all and free public higher education. And Mass Peace Action endorsed Sanders and worked on his campaign. In a recent interview, you agreed with Sanders' decision to support Biden and work for his election, and I'm just wondering what you have to say about that and what advice you might have for people along those lines.
You know, there is a traditional left tradition which has been unfortunately pretty much forgotten. That is, we can contrast two views about elections. There's an establishment view which says elections are the be-all and end-all of politics. You show up every 4 years, you pick one or another person of the ruling class, then you go home and you're finished. That's one view. The other view is that politics, real politics, is constant, dedicated activism every day to change things. To take the Green New Deal. That didn't get there by voting somebody. It was a lot of young environmental activists, particularly the Sunrise Movement, sat in on congressional offices, got support from some of the young representatives, especially Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who'd been swept in on the Sanders wave, managed to get Ed Markey to agree. Finally, it moved to the legislative center of legislative attention. Some form of Green New Deal is essential for survival. But we can duplicate this in case after case. But what about elections? Every couple of years, something comes along called an election. So you take 10 minutes, you take a look and see, is there a significant difference between the candidates? If there is, you take another 10 minutes and vote against the worst one. Rarely for anybody. You try to get the worst one out, then get back to real politics. That's essentially what Sanders is doing. His campaign is an activist campaign. He inspired and brought together activist groups that had been developing for years, inspired others, kept at it. Their activities, and he and his associates have joined the campaign, have in fact pressed the Democratic program farther to the left than any in memory, maybe back to FDR. Not because the DNC or Joe Biden decided on it, because they were pressed to it. And if that real politics continues, it can press further. So those are our choices. You come November, you basically have there's no choice of not participating in the campaign. But that's just not a choice. Like if you decide I'm not going to vote because I don't like either of them, that gives Trump an extra vote, takes one away from the opposition, same as one extra vote for Trump. So you make your decision. Can you spend 10 minutes trying to get rid of the worst guy? And in this case, I should say the difference between the candidates is an absolute chasm on every front, from military destruction to destruction of the environment to packing the judiciary to destroying the political system to encouraging white supremacy. Everyone, the difference is a chasm. So decide whether you want to spend 10 minutes blocking the real horror. If you manage to do it, then get to work on real politics, which doesn't mean showing up every 4 years. It means working constantly all the time, the way, for example, Sunrise Movement did it, and many others who've changed the world. That's what it looks like to me.
Yes.